Welcome to, I believe it's week 22 weigh-in. It's either 22 or 23. Pretty sure it's 22. But you'll see it in the description box. Before I go into the weigh-in for this week, let's talk about the goals and how I did this last week. So, my goals were to drink at least 96 ounces of water, which I hit that every day. Goal was to stick with my ab and squat challenge, which I did that. I didn't do it every day. There was a couple days that I had to double up, but I did get them all in. I haven't done today's yet, but the whole rest of the week I did. I tracked every day, and the only thing that I did not do every day was the 30 minutes of activity, and that's just mostly due to work, and I had that long day, and then I couldn't get any of my activity in at work, and that's typically when I do most of it is during my breaks at work, and I didn't get breaks at all this week at work, so I'm going to make sure that changes next week, and I'm just going to take my breaks and make sure I get my activity in, and if I don't get it during work, I just have to make myself do it in the evenings. So other than that, I did hit all my goals. So I know I went under my points quite a bit this week, and I think that could be a problem. I think what it was, especially on like Tuesday and then Wednesday, we had like Tuesday I had that meeting in the evening, and I was so worried about making sure I didn't eat anything that I wasn't supposed to be eating and all that I just severely went, like, I think I only had 21 or 22 points that day. And then Wednesday was the same way when I had a meeting, and, we had food there, and that was a full day, meeting. And so that was the same thing. I made sure, and I did eat a cookie that day, but it did fit in my points, and I still, even after eating that, I think I still only ended up with 24 points that day. So anyway, so this week, and I had told you all last week that if this week, if I either gained or didn't lose and just stayed the same, because this last week I stayed the same 2 weeks in a row. Prior to that, I had lost, and it was like a 2.6 pound loss, but I had gained the week before that and the week before that, just a little bit. So I really only had lost a pound, I think was the difference. And so that just seems to be right now the pattern. There for a while I was really consistent, losing 1 to 3 pounds a week, and then all of a sudden I'm losing little tiny bits, and then I would stay the same, and then I gain little tiny bits and stay the same, then I would gain a lot, and then I would lose a lot, and then I'd stay the same. So I had said that depending on what this week's weight loss was what I was going to do as far as changing my plan around and trying kind of a modified version of the Wendy plan. So this morning I weighed in the same as the last 2 weeks, which, I'm glad it's not a gain. But, it's also disappointing that that you've done everything except for, like I said, with the exception of the activity. But honestly, even in the beginning, I didn't do a lot of activity when I was losing. So, I was talking to Jessie this morning from Weight Watchers with Jessie, and, she's been doing, like, a modified Wendy plan for, I think, the last, 3 weeks, I want to say. And it's been really successful for her. So she showed me her plan, and she has less weekly points than I do, so I'm gonna do mine a little bit differently. But so I'm gonna kind of work on that later on when I get home, and if I get it done before I edit and upload this video, I will put what I come up with at the end of this video. I'll just put it up on the screen written out so you can see it. But if I don't, I'll just share it in my next what I ate video, or actually I'm going to write it in my planner, because I need to be able to find a way to keep track of how many points that I have each day, since it's going to differ from my app. I'm still going to track it on my app, that way I can keep track of what I'm using, and so it'll kind of be, like I said, it'll be in my planner video also. But So if you're not familiar with it, which I think sure most people are, since, you know, I know, like I said, I think there's a couple, I think Weight Watchers with Heather, or what is her thing now? Heather's Weight Loss Journey. I believe she's doing the same thing, and I know Amber is at Amber's Weight Watchers Adventures is also doing the same thing. So, so yeah, we'll just see how it goes. Oh, I was going to say what it was. So, there is a, what they call a Wendy plan, and from what I understand, I just kind of went onto the website and I put in all my stuff to calculate it, and from what I understand, it takes all your weekly and daily points and basically just splits it out amongst the whole week, and you tell them which day you want your higher point day to be, and then that day uses most of your, uses all your points and quite a few of your weeklies, and then it also, but the way it works though is it uses all your weeklies throughout the whole week, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to use all my weeklies. So the way that, like, Jessie has been modifying hers is that she has a few higher days and a few even lower days below her daily target, and I think she ends up using like 12 of her weeklies, 8 to 12 of her weeklies, and only 193 out of like 210 of her dailies. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm going to come up with, I think. And as far as goals, so that'll be, and then one thing I should mention too is like she told me she makes sure she eats every bit of those points. That way, especially on the lower point days, that way she makes sure, I think her lowest lower point is 24 points. And she makes sure she eats every single one of those points, and then on the higher point days, the same thing, or not today, she stays at 30, the same thing. So she's always getting her points in and eating her points. And so then as far as goals, it's just gonna be the same. I'm gonna stick with the water, the ab and squat challenge, the activity, but I'm just gonna work harder at getting the activity in. And what was the other thing? And then just tracking my points. So that is my plan. Anyway, so as far as videos for this week, my plan for videos, as usual, so today this weigh-in video will go up, and then Saturday I have my grocery haul and possibly a recipe video, but it looks like I have to take my dog to the groomers in the morning, so I'm not sure I'll be able to do a recipe video tomorrow morning, but I will have a recipe video up this week. And then Sunday will be my meal prep video, my planner video, and then Monday will be a love it or lose it declutter challenge video. I'm doing half of my closet because I think I'm going to go to Goodwill tomorrow after I drop my dog off at the groomers. So I figure since I'm going to Goodwill, I might as well do my closet because I'll need to probably having some stuff to take there. So that is my video schedule, and then Tuesday starts back over with, I'll do what I ate videos Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then of course the first one will be up on Tuesday. So that's it. So I will, like I said, if I get my plan done, I'll put it at the end of this video. If not, you will see it in one of the upcoming videos. And every day I will put in my what I ate videos. I'll put in the title how many points I have allotted myself for that day, and I'll let you know, of course, in the videos. So I will see you all soon. Bye.